Hey guys, it's Lori, the Cheeky Crafter. Today I thought we would make this waterfall card. I bought this little kit from Photoplay. It's got the makings for 3 waterfall cards, and it includes all the instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the pieces that I need to make one. First, it's the card base, which of course is the standard A2 size, 5.5 by 8.5, but when folded on the long edge, or folded on the 8.5, of course you've got the 4.25 by 5.5. Then you've got 4 2-inch squares, one strip that is 9 by 2. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then one strip that is 1 inch by 4 inches. And we'll call that the anchor strip. So this longer strip that is 9 inches by 2. So again, 9 inches by 2 inches. You're going to score it in 4 different places. And this is the mechanism that's going to create the waterfall. So you score it at 4 3/4, 5.5, 6 1/4, and then 7. And then, of course, go ahead and fold each one of those. And I'll put all of these measurements down in the description so that you'll have them. Or you can, of course, get the kit where everything's already pre-done. But this way, you'll be able to make as many waterfall cards as you want by knowing the measurements. So I've gone ahead and cut a card base here, or a card mat, if you will. And it's the standard 4 by 5 1/4, which will give me a 1/4 inch border all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this first and put that down. Now you are going to want to go ahead and decorate some pieces before you adhere them. Otherwise it'll be more difficult to adhere them or to decorate them once they've been adhered. So now that I've got that, I'm going to take this 1 by 4 inch anchor strip and I'm going to put adhesive only on each edge. And I'm going to use art glitter glue for this. You're going to want to use a strong adhesive because it's going to hold the mechanism in place. So you want to make sure that it sticks well. And you want to put it about 3/4 of an inch up. And you see I started at 1/4 inch. I was like, oops, no, I need to go 3/4 up. So of course I'm making my adjustment. And there we go. Except clearly I didn't stick it very well. Let me add some more glue. Art glitter glue is fantastic. It really does make stuff stick well. Now once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and decorate my 4 blocks here, my 4 2x2 squares, because again these will be more difficult to decorate once they are in place. So I've got some pattern paper here that's double-sided, and I'm thinking I'm going to go and rotate the designs, and you'll see when it flips up it'll be one design, then flip to the next one, then the next one, then the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these 4 to those 2 by 2 inch card bases, and then we will add them to that longer 9 by 2 strip. And again, I'll do 2 with the flower side up and 2 with the plaid side up. And of course, this is that same paper that's already down as the card mat. Also, please ignore my hand. I had an allergic reaction on my wrist and on the inside of my wrist, and it looks just really nasty, so I didn't want to have to show that to you. All right. Once you've got these, you're going to, like I said, you're going to take that 9 by 2 inch strip, and you're going to want another strong adhesive here. Now, for this one, I'm going to actually end up using some double-sided tape. But you can see how this measurement's going to work. You've got one part behind that anchor strip. I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole here so I can put a ribbon to pull it down once we're all done. And because I don't want that paper to rip, I'm going to go ahead and put an eyelet in there so I can string my ribbon. And that way I'll be able to run a ribbon, and when somebody pulls on it, it won't rip the paper. But clearly I didn't cut a big enough hole for the eyelet I chose, so let me just go back in here, and I'm also going to put that hole just slightly higher. All right, so I'm going to get my eyelet in there, set it with my crocodile. And then once that's done, I can go ahead and put these different panels on there. So again, I've got the plaid and the flowers, and I'm going to add adhesive. Now I'm only going to add adhesive to the top part of each of those places where it folds. So at the top of each fold is where I will place my adhesive. Hopefully that makes sense. And then on the back side, on the inside of the part that folds, I'm going to place just 2 strips. And that's because it'll attach to the anchor strip, and I'll show you how it does all that in just a moment. For now, I'm going to pull off each one of these and add in my strips. Now, I want to start with flowers to be on the top. which means I'll end with the plaid. And so I'm going in reverse order here because obviously I'm laying them one on top of the other. So I start with plaid, then I go flowers, then I'll go plaid again, and I'll end with flowers. And that way the flowers will be on the top when it's first opened. Make sure you don't have any adhesive sticking out anywhere else. Otherwise, it'll stick to the card base and your waterfall card won't work properly. All right, so now once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and take this longer strip and stick it behind that anchor plate. None of that gets glued. The anchor plate doesn't glue, or the pull strip. Then these two that I placed on the inside, those are the ones that I'm going to stick down onto that anchor. So you can see I'm making sure that I get it only on the anchor. And once it's there, now you can see how it works. And as I pull it, each of those things will flip up. Hopefully that makes sense. So now this card is basically done and ready for embellishments. I'm going to see if I've got some ribbon here that I can add to pull it down. I originally had some thick pink ribbon, but I didn't love it, so I thought about that cord, but then I remembered I had some twine. So I'm going to dig out the twine here, and that should be easy enough to create a little pull cord. Now, if you have a stamp, you could, of course, just stamp on the side. If you have a little stamp that says, like, pull, I don't. So I'm going to have to either get one or... And as you can see, I'm struggling here. Clearly, I'm not very adept at this, so I've got a little secret that I'm going to use. I'm going to grab my little Cricut hook, or tweezers, and I'm going to set them through and then hook them and pull it right back out. Saves a lot of time. And I'm going to tie a little knot here just so that ribbon won't come out. Or not the ribbon, the twine, excuse me. Once that's done, the card is all done. So now that one is there, and here's the card I made earlier. And I went ahead and decorated this one to send to my brother who's expecting twins. That's why there's two of everything. And I liked this one a little better because instead of putting the paper onto a white block, I just cut the paper in 2x2 blocks so that when you flip it, you can still see that pattern on the back side. And I thought I should have done that on this one too, but those 2x2 white blocks are included in the kit, so I thought I would use them. Anyway, here's the card all decorated that I made for my little brother. So I hope you enjoy this video and that you're able to make a lot of waterfall cards. Now, you could leave this part blank on the bottom that you're pulling to write a message, but don't forget you've attached it to an actual card. So you can go ahead and write your message on the inside of the card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.